Hello everybody and welcome to another video about the Lord of the Rings LCG. I've got something a little bit different for you today. I'm going to be showing you a deck that I have built around a very specific and niche card, and it's quite a funny deck when it works. So I'm looking forward to playing it, and I really hope I can get a good game where the deck does what I want it to do. So earlier this week I put out a tweet basically looking for suggestions for cards that I could show in a deck building video. The idea would be that I take a card that somebody suggests and kind of film the screen live while I sit there and brainstorm about a deck. And one of the cards that was suggested for that task was this one, Small Target, and it was suggested by Artem Safarov. And so that's what I've done with this deck. I'm not going to show you the process of building it, but I'm just going to play this one because I think it's really funny. So let's talk a bit about Small Target. It's a spirit event, it costs 1, and it reads Response. After a Hobbit hero you control exhausts to defend an attack, choose another enemy engaged with you and reveal the attacking enemy's shadow card. If that shadow card has no shadow effect, resolve this enemy's attack against the chosen enemy. If that shadow card has a shadow effect, resolve this attack as normal. Okay, so this card has a lot of things going on. It's not a card I've ever used before, and I think the reason for that, and probably the reason it sees little to no play as far as I know, is because of all these kind of layered conditions and things you need to do to actually get this to work. First of all, you need a Hobbit hero that's defending, so there's already some risk involved here. Then you have to choose another enemy engaged with you, so you need at least 2 enemies in play, and one of those needs to be engaged with you. You could have one attacking you from the staging area, for example, to satisfy this effect. Then you have to reveal the attacking enemy's shadow card, and that shadow card needs to have no shadow effect. So again, there's another layer of sort of gamble and risk here, that this card could essentially do nothing when you trigger it. And I think those are the reasons that this basically sees no play. But actually, if you think about it, if you can get this card to work, and you can actually get the first enemy to kill the second one, what you've effectively done with this card is a double feint. You've stopped the attack of the first enemy, and in the ideal scenario, you've also stopped the attack of the second enemy because the first enemy killed it for you. That's actually amazing, and it's really powerful, and it's probably the reason this is so kind of niche and has so many requirements, because if you could trigger that effect easily, you'd probably play this in every single deck, and you'd probably never see feint ever again, because this would just be insanely powerful. And so I've kind of realized that through playing this card, that actually if you can get this to trigger reliably, it's actually really good and really funny. But of course, it's an event, first of all, which makes it doubly difficult to build around, because typically events are hard to find. There are very few cards in the game that can actually search for events. And it means you can only do it once. You get this effect one time. So you need ways to try to use this multiple times, I think, for this to be anything close to reliable. So I was trying to think about how could you use this event in a funny and reliable way. And I got thinking about the types of scenarios that you probably want to use this in. You could have, say, a quest where you've got enemies that sort of have 2 attack, 2 defense, maybe 3 attack. And if you get those enemies fighting each other, they're not really going to do very much damage to each other. So I think ideally what you'd want is an enemy that's got kind of 5 attack, maybe 1 defense, 4 health, so that they can actually kill each other and you get the maximum benefit of this card. And then I started thinking, well, what if you could get an enemy that just has a lot of attack power, and you could basically keep it engaged with you, and then use Small Target to kind of turn it into your pet that you could use throughout the quest to kill the rest of the enemies. And then I remembered this enemy from the core set, Chieftain Ufthak. He's the enemy who gets +2 attack for every resource token on him, and he's got that forced effect. After Chieftain Ufthak attacks, place 1 resource token on him. So that's what I decided to do with this card in this deck. The aim of this deck is to try to get Chieftain Ufthak engaged with you and turn him into your dog, basically, because his forced effect doesn't say that he has to attack you. It just says that it's when he attacks, he can be attacking an enemy or a player, and every time he does that, he's going to get 1 resource token. So I thought that'd be really funny. What if we can get Chieftain Ufthak to like 11 attack and get him killing things with small target? And it turns out that this actually does work. I think I've beaten this quest 3 times with this deck. So it's really funny and it's really fun to play when it works. It doesn't work every time because, again, this is an event. It's really difficult to build around. And there are things in this quest that make it tricky, like the Necromancer's Reach, which kills all your characters and so on and so forth. So it's not one that is guaranteed to work, but when it does, it's really fun. So let me quickly talk through what I did to make this card work beyond choosing an enemy to keep engaged. We need a Hobbit hero who's going to defend and attack. This is a spirit card, so it makes sense to me to try to use this with Frodo Baggins. Since he's a hero that we would use anyway for defending, it makes sense to use him in this deck as kind of like the primary defender, because if it turns out we can't trigger small target, he can actually do some defending for us anyway. Then I've gone for Tactics Aragorn, the reason being that he's got this passive debuff. Each enemy engaged with you gets -1 defense. What that actually does, in combination with small target, is effectively boosts the enemy's attack by 1, so you can get more value out of this card, because if the enemies have got -1 defense and they're attacking each other, that's still going to apply to the enemy attacks. So he works really well here, and also he gives us access to a couple of cards that we're going to use to try to get Ufthak into play and keep him under control. The first of which is the Dunedain Hunter. So when he enters play, you can search the top 5 cards of the encounter deck for a non-unique enemy and put it into play, engage with you. It's very easy to overlook that Chieftain Ufthak is actually non-unique because there's only 1 copy of him in the encounter deck. So we can use this Hunter to try to up our chances of seeing Ufthak or another enemy, for example the Hill Troll. We could keep the Hill Troll engaged and use that to kill the other enemies in the quest. So he's going to be really useful here. The other cards that Aragorn gives us access to are Feint, because if Ufthak gets out of control, we need a way to kind of, fail safe, some way that we're not going to get slaughtered by Ufthak if we can't keep him on our leash. So Feint and Grimbold, who's the tactics ally who essentially works like Feint. You discard Grimbold to choose an enemy, engage with a player. That enemy cannot attack that player this phase. So that's what I'm going to try to do with Ufthak to keep him under control. Then the third hero I've gone for is Pippin. He's a Hobbit hero, so he's going to synergize with Frodo here because all the enemies are going to get +2 engagement cost, and he's going to draw us cards every time we engage things. We start off at 25 threat, and a lot of the enemies in this quest are 30 or above, including Ufthak, so Pippin's going to fuel our draw. He also gives us access to Peace and Thought. We can exhaust 2 heroes to draw 5 cards. This is amazing with Hobbits because typically you can run Fast Hitch, so you can draw an absolute ton of cards. And also getting access to lore means that we can use this old core set card to make sure that we trigger small target properly. Dark Knowledge. Who's ever played this? I've never played this card before today. Response. Exhaust Dark Knowledge to look at 1 shadow card that was just dealt to an enemy attacking you. So what we can do with that Dark Knowledge card is stack those on Frodo and then use them to look at the attacking enemy's shadow card and decide if now is a good time to use small target. If it is, we can play this and we can redirect the enemy's attack. If it's not, we can use Grimbold or a copy of Feint, which hopefully we'll have in hand. Or, with Frodo, I suppose, we can take it undefended, although ideally we wouldn't want to do that if Chieftain Ufthak has gone to insane attack values. I think this Dark Knowledge card, by the way, is a victim of some slightly wonky old wording. Because it says look at 1 shadow card that was just dealt to an enemy attacking you, it makes it seem like the enemy needs to have gotten a second shadow card, and I think that's not what the intention is here. I think it's that you're allowed to look at shadow cards as they're dealt at the beginning of the combat phase. It's just some slightly wonky wording from the core set days. I'm pretty sure that this works in conjunction with small target. So that's what I'm going to try to do with this deck, and as I said, it's very funny when it works, and it's really enjoyable to sit here and kill enemies via other enemies. It's very funny, but it doesn't work every time, so I'm going to film some games now and hopefully get a good one for you guys. Alright, here we go. So the card you want to be looking for in your opening hand is Peace and Thought, and I've got one here. I just played a game, it didn't go very well, but this game I've got one of these in my opening hand, so I'm going to keep this hand. I'm not going to mulligan it. The reason I want this card early is to draw as many cards as possible and start moving through the deck. We need a little bit of luck in the early rounds as well, being able to quest past the staging area, because it can be tricky depending on which card you reveal in setup. It's very swingy. If you reveal a whiffy treachery, you're going to have a good game, and if you get a bad enemy, it's going to be very difficult. I've also got Sam Gamgee, so I can play him turn 1 to get some willpower down, or maybe save for Arwen on turn 2. So let's keep this. So we reveal 1 card from top of the encounter deck and add it to the staging area. Okay, Evil Storm. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each character controlled by each player with a threat of 35 or higher. That's a whiff, so that's a good start. Then we'll go and find a Hill Troll. Stick him in the staging area. So we cannot defeat this stage while any Hill Troll cards are in play. Okay, let's go. So, I think I'm not going to play anything here. I think I'm just going to quest with Pippin and possibly Frodo. I'll quest for 4. Actually, I'm going to play... No, I'm not going to play Sam Gamgee. Yeah, let's just quest for 4, because then I can play Arwen turn 2. So we'll do that. We're up against 1 threat. Reveal a card. Okay, Treacherous Fog. When revealed, each location in the staging area has +1 threat until the end of the phase, and each player with a threat of 35 or higher chooses and discard 1 card from his hand. It doesn't do anything, so whiff. I'm getting very lucky here, so 3 progress. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll go to the end of the round. In the refresh phase, I'm going to play Peace and Thought. So I'll exhaust 2 heroes. I'll exhaust Pippin and Frodo to draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then refresh. But they're exhausted. Just drawn another Peace and Thought there, so that'll be handy in a minute. I'm going to play Arwen here for 2. And I'll play my good meal onto Pippin, I think, because that's going to let me play that other Peace and Thought in my hand without spending my lore resources. Let's just organize these cards by sphere. Also got a Dark Knowledge, which I'm going to play onto Frodo to allow me to look at the enemy's shadow cards. Really, I would have liked to get a fast hitch so that I could ready Frodo, but didn't get that time. So I don't think I'm going to play anything else. I could play this Pathfinder for some more willpower, but there are locations in this quest that are sort of 3 to 5 threats, so I think I'll keep him for now. I'll just quest for 4 here, which again is not great, but hopefully it will go easy on us. The East Bite, yeah, it did, wow. So we get 2, and I have to travel there, so we need a little bit more willpower next turn. Not going to engage the Hill Troll. I will just go to the refresh phase, use my good meal to play Peace and Thought. So discard that, play Peace and Thought, draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and discard it, and then refresh. Turn 3, these 2 are exhausted. Still no fast hitch, so I can play this one this turn hopefully, and finally draw it. I think I'm going to play Sam Gamgee here, because I don't think I can quest through this. It's very unlikely. And I think I'll play Grimbold, 1, 2, 3, because he's 2 willpower as well. So this is kind of what we want to be doing, just build up board state slightly. I've also got an Elrond's Council, which I can use because I've got Arwen now. So I'll quest for 2, 4, 6 again. And I don't think there's anything that can really cause too many problems. When revealed, remove 4 progress tokens from the current quest card. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's another easy treachery. So we get 5 progress. That's good. I won't engage the Hill Troll. I'll just go to the next turn again, and I will pay 1 from Pippin to play my 3rd Peace and Thought. So I'll draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then go to the next turn. Okay, they're both exhausted. I will play Daron's Runes here, I think. Draw 2. There's a small target finally, and I will discard Sam Gamgee because he's already on the table. Now then, let's get our hand in order. Elrond's Council up here, small targets, I'm going to put them over here because I'll need those in a minute. Dark Knowledge, so I'm going to play one of those onto Frodo, I think. And I will play this Ancient Matham on the active location because I'm probably going to clear it this turn. I would like to play him, but I think I'm going to keep him so that I can play another one of these the turn after. So we'll quest for 2, 4, 6. Reveal 1 card. Okay, when revealed, deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. So I will do Pippin, Arwen, Sam Gamgee, and Grimbold, but I'll take Frodo's 1 damage as threat. Let's go up by 1. And that is going to put, let's see, I quested for 6, so we get 5, right? Because I quested for 6, we're up against 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clear this one, draw 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so many cards. But this is not a bad thing. What I want to find now is the Dunedain Hunters. So we'll draw 2, 1, 2, there's one of them. And I will discard, let's see, Grimbold's on the table, but he's got a wound. Oh, I'm not convinced I need this other Ancient Madam, really. It's pretty tricky to figure out what to discard when you've got so many cards in hand. I'll probably discard a Warden of Healing, because I think I can get away with just one of those. And then I'm not going to bring down the Hill Troll, but we can think about bringing him down next turn. So we'll go to the next round. I'd like a fast hitch as well. Okay, let's play our Dunedain Hunter and see what we can pull. Maybe we get Chieftain Ufthak. Nope, but we've got Dol Guldur Orcs, so I'm going to take them because they've got a when revealed effect. So I'll bring those into play, engage with us. Where is Ufthak? There he is. So he's in there somewhere. I think I'll go Born Aloft on this guy, and I'll just use it, bring him back to hand, and then I'm going to play him again, try and find another enemy. Oh yeah, there's Ufthak. Bring him into play. So I can draw a card with Pippin now, because his engagement cost is higher than my threat. So draw 1 on our guard. Okay, so I need to use Frodo to defend him probably this turn, so I'm going to give Arwen's boost to Frodo from now on. And let's see, I'll probably play this Warden of Healing, because then I can heal some of this damage that was done last turn. And I'm going to play my Honor Guard so that I can cancel damage as well. I could play that Born Aloft on the Dunedain Hunter, which I think I will, because there are some effects that discard attachments in this quest, so I'd rather discard that than my Dark Knowledge. Okay, this looks good. So I will quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if these characters die, it's not a big deal, because I can replay Arwen when I draw her. I've got another copy of Grimbold in hand, although I don't really want him to die. So I might go for 5 instead. So we'll do that. Up against 1, reveal a card. Gladden Fields, so 4. We get 1 progress. I'll travel to the Gladden Fields, and then we go to the combat phase. So they get their shadow cards, and as soon as they're dealt, I'm going to look at Ufthak's shadow card and see what it is. Okay, it's blank, so he's attacking for 3. So at this point, I could use him to kill the Dol Guldur Orcs. It's kind of a bit of a waste of a small target, really. I want Ufthak to kill the Hill Troll. That's more fun. So let's defend him with Frodo. It's not going to do any damage because it's 3 against 3, and then Ufthak gets 1 resource, which is going to take him to 5. He's getting buffed. And then this guy's attacking for 2. I'll defend it. I'm going to take it undefended, actually, this one. Remove 1 progress token, 3 progress tokens instead if this attack is undefended, typical. So 1, 2, 3. It's going to do 2 damage. I'll cancel 1 with the Honor Guard and take 1 as threat. And then attacking back, I think I'm going to kill these orcs, I suppose. Probably the best thing to do, just get them off the table, because we can start bringing in more enemies, and we can start using Ufthak to kill the Hill Troll in a minute as well. Then I'll heal. I heal Sam and Pippin. I'm going to keep those guys alive. And then refresh. Okay, so I need to keep a feint in case Ufthak gets a shadow card with a shadow effect. I have to raise my threat by an extra 1 as well from Gladden Fields. So I think I'll play Ancient Madam on the active location, try and get through my deck. And I could play Dark Knowledge. I think I'll save the lore resources though, so I can play Mablung later. Here I'll quest for 2, 4, 6. Could quest for 8. I think I'm going to play 1 Elrond's Council at least, go down by 3 so I don't have to engage the Hill Troll this turn. So that's 7. I'll play another one. Go to 8 and I'm up against 1. I think I'll play the other one as well, I'll just play all 3. 1, 2, 3. Reveal 1 card. Marsh Adder. Okay, so 4. So we get 5 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That goes to the victory display, and we'll trigger this and draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice. And these go away. Now then, this adder, let's see. I could bring that down, but Ufthak can't quite kill it yet. So maybe I want to do that next turn. Let Ufthak get one more attack in, and then I will use him to kill the Marsh Adder, and then I'll use him to kill the Hill Troll, which will be quite funny. So let's play it that way. What we'll do is we'll go to the combat phase and give Ufthak a shadow card, and I'll look at it with Dark Knowledge. Okay, it does have an effect, so he gets +1, so he's going to be attacking for 6. So if I defend that with Frodo, he takes 3 damage. I can cancel 1 with my Honor Guard, so I go up 2 threat. I think that's fine. So we'll do that. He's attacking for 6, right? I just calculated that. Cancel this, and I go up by 2. And then he gets his resource, and he goes up to 7 attack. Now what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to soften him up a little bit, because I do need to kill him to actually beat this quest. So I'm going to attack him for 3, 4, 5, 6, and he's got 2 defense from Aragorn. So it's going to put 4 damage on him, right? Because he's 2 defense, 6, so I'll attack him for 7. So he actually takes 5 wounds, I think. Let me just double check that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, -1 defense. Yeah, that's right. So now he's actually on the verge of death, so he should be easy to kill when I want to get rid of him. Then I'll just heal up my allies, and we'll go to next turn. Alright, so I'm going to play these good meals on Frodo now, so that I can use his resources to pay for Dwarven Tombs and small targets. And I want to play my fast hitch on Frodo, so he can defend twice if needed. And I will play the other one. I might play... Let's think about that. What's better to play? Realistically, I'm just going to engage this Marsh Adder this turn. So I reckon I play this one. So he can ready multiple times if I get some smaller enemies engage with me. Now requesting up against 4, I'll do 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, 10 with Aragorn. Reveal 1 card. Wargs for another 2. So we get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I will optionally engage the Marsh Adder, which is going to let me draw a card with Pippin. And then these wargs are going to engage me. Nothing I can do about it. Give them shadow cards. I'll look at Ufthak's shadow card. Oh yes, no shadow effect. So flip it back over. I will exhaust to defend Ufthak, and I will play my small target. So after he exhausts to defend an attack, choose another enemy engaged with you and reveal the attacking enemy's shadow card. Well, we know it's blank because we looked at it. So that means that Ufthak gets to kill the Marsh Adder for us because he's got 7 attack, but this is -1 defense from Aragorn. So I think that goes to the victory display because it's been killed. So I'm going to add it there. Ufthak did his thing, so he goes up to 9 attack. And then these wargs are attacking us. This is a bit trickier. I'm going to defend it with Frodo. Hope it gets a shadow effect. It did. Okay, so they're not going back to the staging area. Wolfrider attacks the defending player. That player may declare 1 character as a defender. Deal Wolfrider its own shadow card. After combat, return Wolfrider to the top of the encounter deck. That's such a weird card. I'm guessing this resolves first, so this does no damage because Frodo's 3 defense. I'll defend it again with Frodo. Hill Troll, okay, nice. And so that goes to the top of the encounter deck, so we know what that card is. It's a 1 threat surge. And then I think here I'm going to get rid of these wargs. -1 defense, 3 attack from the hunter, so they die. And then we will refresh. So this is going pretty well. It's about as well as you can expect this to go. I'm going to play my hunter because I know that on top of the encounter deck is that little goblin Wolfrider. So I'm going to take him out of there. Don't get to draw a card down, unfortunately. And I will also play another one, I think. Why not? Let's get another enemy, see if we can. Yeah, Goblin Sniper. I'll take him out of there. He's annoying. I could take them actually because they're Surge. I think I'm going to take those guys. Close and shuffle and then draw a card because they are 32 engagement costs thanks to Pippin. Another fast hitch. So I'm going to play the other Dark Knowledge now so that I can look at 2 shadow cards. I think I want to pull down this troll and start questing through. So I'll quest for 6, I think, because I think that's probably the worst that could happen as a 5 threat reveal. I could get a surge though, so let's do 8. Reveal 1 card. That is a whiff, doesn't do anything because my threat is not 35, so we get 7 progress. That's excessive. I'll put 16 on there. I'm going to engage the hill troll. Bring him on down, and I'll draw a card for that. Then I'll deal out their shadow cards, and I'll look at the hill trolls, and I'll look at Ufthak's as well. Okay, it's blank, good. That's blank as well. Alright, interesting. So I think here I will use Ufthak to kill the hill troll, or at least soften him up. I suppose I could use him to kill that one. Let's do the hill troll first, right? I'm going to defend the hill troll with Frodo. So I exhaust him to defend, play small target for 1, and then I'll let him kill the Wolf Rider for me, just for fun. So that will go away. And then that will go away, and then I'll play Good Meal to play Dwarven Tomb and get back my small target. And then I will ready Frodo, and I'll do the same again, but on Ufthak now, on the hill troll. So we'll pay 1 for this one, right? And then that will do 9, and he's 2 defense because of Aragorn. So he's actually going to take 7 wounds from Chieftain Ufthak, and Ufthak goes up 1. Oops, and goes up 1 and another 2. There we go. Funny. Okay, and this one is attacking for 1. I'm going to take it. I'm not going to take it undefended because it might discard all my attachments. Deal X shadow cards to this attacker. X is the number of players in the game. Sure. +1, so he's coming for 2. Yeah, no damage. And then I believe here I can just use Aragorn to murder this hill troll because he's attacking for 3. He's got 1 defense, so actually I need to use another hunter. So he'll take a bit more damage. Victory display for him, and we go to the next stage. Okay, so we have to reveal 2 encounter cards each quest phase. So let's refresh. There we go. Okay, let's play our Honor Guard so we can cancel damage from Necromancer's Reach. And I think I'm going to keep a resource for Feint here because Chieftain Ufthak is looking very dangerous, and I do not have my small target in hand. There must be 1 left in the deck. I think I've played 2, so there's 1 there, 1 there. So there's 1 left to draw. I can also play it twice more with 2 Dwarven Tombs. So I think we just quest for as much as possible here. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's bring these hunters over here. 9, 10, 11, 12. Reveal 2 cards. Enchanted Stream and a Goblin Sniper, so that's 4. So we get 8 progress. Now, if I travel there, I cannot draw cards. Quite an annoying location for this deck, but I think it's fine. I think I can quest past it, get out of the staging area, and I can optionally engage him, which would actually let me draw a card. But now that I've gone there, I can't. So rather than take that back, I think I'll just engage him and not get the draw. So we'll do shadow cards. I'm going to feint Ufthak because that 11 attack is very scary. And I'll defend both of these with Frodo. In fact, actually, I could have looked at their shadow cards, but too late now. So we'll defend the Sniper with him, nothing. And we'll defend the Eastern Crows with him, nothing. So many blank shadow cards. Ready him, and then we'll do 3, kill the Sniper. And I guess I could kill the Crows, but they get shuffled back into the encounter deck, so I won't bother with that. That was blank too. Okay, refresh. Go to next turn. Turn 10. Alright, good meal on Frodo. Let's do this. Let's try and win. I think this turn I can do a small target, so I'll do Dwarven Tomb for free with my good meal to get back a small target from my discard pile. So get rid of that one, and I've got one of those in hand for Ufthak now. And I could play Mablung for some questing power, but I don't really see the point. I think I'll just do Fast Hitch onto maybe Frodo, because we might need him to defend a lot in the end game. So quest for as much as possible again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. That should be enough, I hope. I can't draw cards, so I forgot which card I drew there. I think it was the good meal. Yes, it was. Okay, so I can roll that back. I guess what I do is I just pay 1 extra resource from Frodo, and I'll put the good meal on top of my deck and draw it next turn. Because that works out the same, I think. So yeah, that's right, that would work out the same. Okay, so question for 12, reveal 2 cards. Necromancer's Pass and Despair have to remove 4 progress. That's really annoying on stage 2. So up against 3, so we get 9, 2 and 7. That gives 11. That goes away. I have to discard 2 cards from my hand at random to travel there. I don't think I will. I think I'll leave that. So now we go to the combat phase. Ufthak is looking very disgusting again, so I'm probably going to feint him just to stop him from going crazy. And I'll defend the Eastern Crows with Frodo. I should really be looking at their shadow cards with Dark Knowledge, but it doesn't really matter that much because I'm not going to waste a small target on them here. Yeah, that's the undefended, discard all attachments. I'll just leave this engaged and we'll go to the next turn and try and quest through this. Okay, there's the good meal that I was not supposed to draw. So I guess I'll use this now, and I will play the Dwarven Tomb to get back the other small target that's in my discard pile. So now I can play both of them for nothing. And I'm kind of tempted to play this guy, but what if he pulls a 5 threat location? Let's see if there are any of them in the encounter discard pile. There's not, so they must still be in the encounter deck, so I don't really want him to do that. There's one there, so I think there's one other copy of it, so I'm not going to play him. I'll wait. So we'll do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Let's do 12 again, because Frodo can't quest because his willpower is 0 from these Dark Knowledges. So 12 and reveal 2. 1, 2. Dol Guldur Orcs is choose 1 character currently committed to a quest, deal 2 damage to that character. So I will do that to a Dunedain Hunter. And I have to raise my threat by 1 for each character I control that is not currently committed to a quest. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that added 2 threat. So we get 7 progress. So we do go to the next stage, the final stage, where Ufthak can go crazy. Okay, let's get some enemies here. We have to reveal 2 encounter cards per player and add them to the staging area. 1, 2. Yep, couple of enemies, that's fine by me. Skip the staging step of the quest phase for the remainder of the game. Once there are no enemies in play, the players have won the game. Sure. So I'll go to the banks of the Anduin because that's blank and it will come as a shadow card hopefully when I clear it. I cannot engage this guy because there are Dol Guldur Orcs in the staging area. So I will just option engage these guys and he's going to sit there. Give them their shadow cards, and I'm going to look at Ufthak's shadow card. Okay, it has an effect. So I'm probably going to have to use Grimbold to stop him attacking me. I'll also look at the Orcs. That's also got an effect, so that's kind of annoying. So let's use Grimbold here to stop Ufthak from murdering us. So we will discard him and say that Ufthak cannot attack. Now defend the Eastern Crows with Frodo. +1 or +2 instead if your threat's 35 or higher, which it is. So that's gone up to 3, no damage. And then defend the Orcs, and it says remove a progress token, but there aren't any on there, so who cares? And then I'll come in and I'll attack the Eastern Crows, I suppose. Shuffle them into the encounter deck. And then hopefully Ufthak can kill these Orcs for us for a laugh next turn. Let's heal this 1 damage off of him. And refresh. Be nice to see another hill troll, but I've got no way of grabbing him, sadly. Actually, what about this? Let's play this for fun. So I'll discard this Born Aloft to return him to my hand. And let's play him and see if we can get something for Ufthak to kill. 1 final moment of glory. How about Beastmaster? That'll do. So close and shuffle that. Engage him. I don't get to draw a card because I'm now 37 threat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Mablung for 2, and I will use him to engage this Goblin Sniper. I'll damage him. And I've just remembered his forced effect. I was supposed to deal 1 point of damage to a character, but I didn't use these guys, so I could have just cancelled it, so it wouldn't really matter. I do get to draw a card from engaging him, though. Ancient Matham. Alright, well, why don't I play it, just to draw more. So we can quest for 6 and clear this bank to the Anduin, and we know that it's not going to have... the Goblin Sniper's not going to get a shadow effect if we do that. So I'll play my final Dark Knowledge on Frodo. It's even got a quote from Frodo on it. Maybe there was something there in their thinking about that card, who knows. So let's put these here. Just move them up a little bit. So request for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks good. Reveal nothing, because we do not reveal cards in the staging step. So we do 3, and we get 1, 2, 3. Draw 3 cards, which is my deck empty. Another small target, yeah, the final one. And that goes to the top of the encounter deck. So we basically know that that's going to be his shadow card, so I may as well give it to him. Let's take those tokens off, that's annoying. And then I'm not going to travel there. Let's go to the combat phase, give these guys shadow cards, and we'll look at all 3 of them. Blank, blank, and an effect. So I will defend Ufthak with Frodo, place small target, and his shadow card is blank, so we know that we can use him to murder this Beastmaster for us. So he dies, and he goes up to 13 attack. I think I can defend all of them with Frodo. This one's blank, we know it, so no big deal. In fact, actually, I could have used him to kill them, I suppose. So why don't we do that for fun? We'll do 2 damage to them instead. So they do that, and then I can defend this one with Frodo. Removes progress, doesn't do anything, who cares? So I'm going to come in for... Let's see, I can finish it now. We'll do 3. We'll do 3. And finally, sadly, Chieftain Ufthak, he's done his job. Bye-bye, Ufthak. It's really sad when you have to kill your own pet, kill your own dog, but we have to win the game. I'm really sorry, boy. You're gonna die, just like all the other enemies you killed. And he goes to the victory display. And I believe we win. So there is small target functioning in the context of a deck. And I have actually beaten 1 or 2 other quests with this. I think I beat 7th level with it. So it can work against other quests, but you do need a bit of luck. I got very lucky in the early game that run with those treacheries. I don't think you could survive this if you got high threat locations. So there we go. Really hope you enjoyed this. Give it a go. Small target is funny, and it's actually really powerful. Like, getting Chieftain Ufthak to kill everything for us is pretty crazy. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know if there are any cards that you would like to see a deck built around, and I will do my best to try. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.